Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Siobhan from To Kitty and Beyond. Just trying a new setup today, just a new layout. Thought I'd move things around, keep things fresh. I've been feeling a lot of energy of new beginnings, and I did a little personal reading for myself this morning, and a lot of aces came up, and then I checked my phone, and the card of the day on my tarot app was the Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of new beginnings that I'm feeling, so let's see what the cards say. Today I'm just going to use the two decks, my Fairy Tarot and the Gilded Tarot. Okay. Oh, these cards are stiff. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle them. I'll put a timestamp for when the reading actually starts. Or for those of you who like to watch the shuffling, that's cool too. I know I do. I find it soothing. Okay, so this is going to be a reading for the Divine Masculine, and we'll just see what comes up. And in this deck, I don't read reversals. I do in the Gilded Tarot, but not in the Fairy Tarot. So we'll start with that. Right off the bat, we got the Queen of Summer, the Two of Autumn, the Nine of Winter, and the Ace of Summer. So we did get the Ace of Cups, which was what I was just talking about from my tarot app. So the Ace of Summer is the Ace of Cups, and it's open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship, or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. So we've got, so the Queen of Summer is, we've got a lot of love. So these are both Cups cards, the Queen of Cups, the Two of Autumn balancing, and the Nine of Winter is about fear and nightmares and things like that, overthinking. So that's interesting that it almost seems like they're wanting love, they're wanting to express the love, they're wanting to become more loving, intuitive insights you can trust. So they're getting some emotional guidance from within. And it's funny that I've got this love here. This is gonna, like, it's all about love today, I'm feeling. But they're trying to find balance, they're juggling, and they're having difficulty multitasking because there's this fear here. So as you can see with the Nine of Winter, it's about sleepless nights and staying up at night, overthinking things, you know, when you're trying to lie in bed and you can't get to sleep because it's just these things are running through your mind. That's that feeling, and it's this juggling of that. So it's not being able to find balance within the mind and the heart is what I'm getting from this. So there's the Two of Autumn is the Two of Pentacles equivalent, so that could be, you know, juggling things in their everyday life. They're stressing out about money issues, or they're stressing about their work or their career, their finances, their home life, anything really, anything physical. And they're feeling stressed about it. They're feeling stressed about trying to balance that with these new feelings that they're having coming in of love. They're wanting to express themselves emotionally, but they're feeling like maybe they're not quite ready yet, or they're having some fear around it. So let's get some clarifiers. Okay, so clarifying the Queen of Summer, we got the Five of Wands, which is about conflict. This can be inner conflict or outer conflict, and the Magician, so which is manifestation. So he's having conflicting feelings about manifesting the Queen of Cups, which is, I'm assuming, or I'm feeling as though the Queen of Cups represents either their inner feminine or the divine feminine. They want to manifest this inner sensitivity, this love, but they're feeling conflicted about it because of what's going on in their external world, in their 3D world, because we've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. So Seven of Wands is about being defensive and standing up for yourself and your beliefs, and the Page of Pentacles is about an offer of money or of physical, like a physical nature, but not feeling very confident about it. So in this case, he's not feeling confident about where he's at right now. In the 3D realm, he wants to have more to offer, and so he could be feeling, from this card, I'm actually getting this sort of a hermit feel from it. Like he's guarding himself, he's hiding away, and he wants to express himself because he's guarding the doorway to his heart, but he doesn't want to anymore because it's in reverse. He wants to manifest this love in his physical realm. Sorry, my cat's running around again. She does that. The Nine of Winter, so clarifying that, we got the Tower in reverse and the Lovers. So, to me, I'm feeling as though this is a karmic split. He's had a shift in his relationship. He's had a shift in the way he's feeling about it, or it's a physical breakup and it's happened recently. Because the Tower in reverse is to me, that's signifying that it's happened in the past. So this could have happened, in the recent past, within the past couple of days, or this could have happened, I'm getting a week ago. So for some of you, your divine masculine could have split from a karmic partner or a soulmate about a week ago, and you may not know about it yet. So, but because they're clarifying the Nine of Winter, he's still stuck in that Tower energy. He's still stuck in his head about this, and he's still thinking about it. But it's interesting that we didn't get, like the loss or the grieving card, but it's more of like he wants to make a decision because this is done now, but he's having anxiety about how to go about that. Like he's trying to make a choice. He wants to move forward, but he's conflicted internally, possibly because he just got out of this and he needs more time to sort of get his life back together, finding balance within himself. Maybe he doesn't want to step into being codependent right away. But this Tower moment has passed, and he is thinking about relationships. He is thinking about the Lovers. He is thinking about making a decision about relationships and love. So that's interesting. And with clarifying the Ace of Summer, we got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So we have two queens with the Ace of Summer. So this, to me, is saying, he's choosing between two people. And because the Queen of Wands is in reverse, I'm feeling as though he's already chosen. He's split from her. And now he's moving towards the Queen of Pentacles, which I always read the Queen of Pentacles as the divine feminine. So that's really interesting to me that he's now, the karmic partner is out of the picture, or will be soon out of the picture, or has been for a little while now, and he is starting to think about expressing his love and starting this new relationship with the divine feminine. Okay, so I'm going to move these up and then we'll get another row going here. Sorry guys, this is like a new setup. Okay. So we got the Queen of Winter, the Prince of Winter, the Eight of Summer, and the Eight of Winter. Okay, so This is a lot of winter, which is the swords energy in this fairy tarot deck. So we've got the Queen of Winter, who's independent, strong, self-sufficient, unmarried and divorced individuals. So he's going through this split right now. But we've also got the Prince of Winter, which is he wants to act quickly and be decisive because there's been this sudden or unexpected change. Intellectual, determined, focused, and impulsive, seeking out intellectual solutions to his problems. So he's really trying to solve this dilemma that he feels as though it's a dilemma. And we saw that with the Nine of Winter. So he's really trying to find balance with the Two of Autumn to find an answer for this problem, or he has been in the past. So now the Eight of Summer is he's walking away, or he has walked away from that karmic. It's going to be different for certain people. Some people, he may be just thinking about it. For others, he's already done it. And for even others, he may be coming forward to you with an offer of love, or at least with some form of communication, opening up a bit more than he has in the past. So take what resonates for you. This is a general reading, so this is for lots of viewers. I'm picking up on all these different energies, and the cards just kind of relay what's going on generally. So, but to get back to this one, the Eight of Summer, he's walking away because he's felt that what he was in was not emotionally fulfilling for him. He thought about it and got all up in his head energy about it, in the Swords energy, and now he's realized that his cups aren't full, or they were not full, and he wants to have full cups. He wants to be able to feel emotionally fulfilled. He wants true love. He wants that kind of relationship, which he was maybe settling for a relationship in the past that was not true love, just because it was comfortable, or it was practical, or he just got into it out of like a rebound sort of thing, and then just stayed because that's what he was doing. It just was, kind of like routine. I mean, that's horrible to say, but I've experienced that as well, staying in a relationship that I knew was not really love, or that was not healthy, or that was not enjoyable for me, simply because it was just normal. It was normal, and it was what we were doing, and you get into a routine and you get used to it and you get comfortable, and then it's scary to try and break away from that. So this is what we're seeing with the Eight of Winter energy. So again, it's like that feeling trapped. This is the Eight of Swords. He feeling mentally trapped, and that's exactly what that energy is feeling mentally trapped in a relationship that's not serving you, wanting to walk away, but feeling like it's almost too scary to make that kind of a change. But with all of these cards in combination, reading them as a whole, we can kind of go from left to right, which goes against, the way that we read things normally. Just in English, we read from left to right rather than from right to left. But if I read this right to left, I'm seeing that he has felt trapped in the past mentally. He walked away from it, or is thinking about walking away from it, or is walking away from it, because he's made the decision. He's acting quickly. There's sudden and unexpected changes because he's trying to seek a solution to this problem. And he's right now unmarried or divorced. He's split from that energy that was trapping him. And now he's focusing on his career. He's focusing on getting his ducks in a row so that he can present himself in a way that will be worthy of the Divine Feminine. So let's get some clarifiers of that. Interesting. Wow, okay. So I'm going to go from right to left again because that's the way that this energy is moving. So clarifying the Eight of Winter, we got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, both in reverse. So to me, we've got all four queens here. So that's a lot of female energy in this divine masculine reading. You know, this could be his inner feminine, an external feminine. This could be the divine feminine. This could be his mother. There's just a lot of hens in the kitchen. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I've never used that terminology, and that's what spirit just put in my head. There's a lot of hens in the kitchen. And so this is what was keeping him in that Eight of Winter energy, that feeling trapped. There was just too many opinions and too many things to try and decide, and he was feeling really overwhelmed by it. And he was feeling like, what is the right answer? What is the right decision? I don't know what to choose. And he was feeling stuck like that for a long time. And the fact that they're both in reverse, it's like the energies were blocked because of the way that he was feeling about it. The energies towards any of the feminines in his life was blocked because he was just so torn and indecisive and stuck in his own head, not trusting his heart or his intuition. He was stuck in the mind about it. So the Eight of Summer, clarifying that, we got the Two of Swords and the Fool. So the Two of Swords about making a decision, making an intellectual decision, and sticking with it. And then the Fool being about making that leap of faith and jumping into a new beginning wholeheartedly with trust. But it's in reverse. So this is what he was scared of. He was scared to make the decision to walk away, because that's what the Eight of Summer, as you can see in the card. Sorry about the glare. Walking away, but you can't see where the path is leading. So that can be scary because you're just trying. The Fool asks you to just have faith and trust that the path is going to lead you somewhere that you need to go. And that's another sort of, she's blindfolded. She's making a decision based on her intuition, which is represented by the moon. She's blindfolded. She's trusting. She's walking down this path knowing that the divine is not going to lead her astray, that she's going to get to her destination, and the destination is what is divinely fated, what is divinely guided, what is the ultimate outcome, what's meant to be will be. So he was fighting against that. He was fighting against making that decision. He was fighting against moving forward. He was fighting against making this change. So with the Prince of Winter, we have two knights, one in reverse and one upright. Similar to clarifying the Ace of Summer, we had the two queens, one in reverse and one upright. So in this, what I'm feeling is the Prince of Winter is actually a knight as well. So we have three knights, and the Prince of Winter is the Knight of Swords. So we have three knights, two of which are the same, one of which is in reverse. So he was really focusing on this intellectually because the swords are the mental energy again. So he was really focusing on this intellectually, mentally, going over and over scenarios in his head, exhausting himself mentally, trying to find a solution, trying to find an answer. But you can't work it out all in your head. You can go over this 1,000 times, but until you actually do it, you're not going to know how this is going to play out. And we see that he wasn't trusting his emotions. The cup of the knight is empty because he's upside down. It's spilled out. And he was relying solely on his mind, which is not the practical tool to be using in this kind of a situation. So what I do feel, though, is that because the energy of these two knights are similar, but they're different in the two different decks. So with this, he's seeking an intellectual solution to his problem, and he's making sudden and unexpected changes, and he's trying to move through sudden and unexpected changes more easily, more gracefully. And with this one, I'm seeing that he's charging forward. He's ready to find the truth of the situation and really make a change. And even though in the past he wasn't following his heart, he's at least trying to move forward. So, or has started to move forward. So the Queen of Winter, we got clarified with the King of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Pentacles. So this is the Queen of Winter's independent. She's self-sufficient. She focuses on her career. She's single. The King of Pentacles in reverse, to me, is saying that he's feeling unstable, especially with the Five of Pentacles. He's feeling unstable in his finances. And this is not necessarily at a physical level. He may have a lot of money. It's not, it doesn't have to be that. It's just the energy of it. You know, you could be the richest person in the world, but if you feel unstable and you feel like you don't have enough, like you're constantly seeking more outside of yourself because of something that you're lacking within, then you're always going to feel poor. You're always going to feel this Five of Pentacles energy, which is feeling left out in the cold, not having enough, not receiving physically, not receiving emotionally as well. So I'm feeling as though he wants to focus on himself now. He wants to focus on rebuilding his solid foundation within himself. So this could be focusing on his career. This could be literally focusing on his career, or it could be figuratively focusing on his internal foundation, building back up what was broken down in the past relationship so that he has something to offer emotionally when he's ready to come back into that a new relationship, which was what we saw with the Queen of Summer and the Ace of Summer, is that he is thinking about this new relationship, and so he's trying to prepare himself for that because he's been broken down. He's gone through that tower where his foundation crumbled. He may have felt like his life fell apart around him, and now he's trying to manifest a solution to that in the physical and internal realm. So he's internally and externally trying to get his shit back together, which is a good thing. Let's do another row. We got the Five of Summer, King of Autumn, the Three of Autumn, and the World. Okay, so we've got the Five of Summer, this is the Five of, no, that's the Five of Cups, not the Five of Wands. But we did get the King of Autumn in the last one. So King of Pentacles in reverse, this is the King of Autumn is the King of Pentacles, but he's upright in this spread. So now I'm going this way. So trust, he's trying to find trust within his world. He's trying to find the faith that all of what has happened for a reason. And that can be difficult because he's needing to remove himself from the negative emotions of others because he's been stuck in that energy of focusing on that which frightens or worries you. He was stuck in that energy of focusing too much in the mental realm about what he was scared of, whether this be the change or things that he needed to address within himself, or starting out fresh. That can be scary. It's exciting if you choose to see it that way, but it can be scary. It can be unnerving trying to make a big life change. So, but it's all in the way that you think about it, which is that Nine of Swords energy, Nine of Winter energy. And the Five of Summer is the Five of Cups. It's asking him to trust and have faith that all of this has happened for a reason. And he is being divinely guided down that path. He is being guided, and he may be emotionally feeling the call. He may be emotionally picking up on intuitive guidance because there's been a lot of shifting in the collective. There's been a lot of shifting with a lot of the solar energy, with the new moons, and we're coming up again to a full moon at the end of this month. So there's been a lot of new beginnings with the equinox. There's been a lot of releasing, there's been a lot of purging, there's been a lot of change, there's been a lot of shifting in the energies. So, you know, he may be now feeling as though he can trust and move forward and get stable. within himself. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right, everything going your way, a good person or company to work for. So I feel as though he's starting to trust, because what he's been through was not fun, and that broke down his trust. But now he's coming back into a place of balance, or he's trying to find balance. And when it comes to his personal life, he's trying to find balance through his career. I'm not going to try and stereotype, but a lot of the time, masculines are about their money. They are about the physical realm. They're very usually grounded in what's real, what they can touch, what's tangible to them. Whereas the feminines, being more sensitive, we are more up in the ethers, as I like to say, where we like to fly around and be all in our feelings and, live sort of in fantasy, which is a good thing. And that's why we are the polar opposite energies. We balance each other out. That's why we need one and the other. We need both. So I feel as though this, with the Three of Autumn, he's trying to build up his career. He's trying to build this foundation. And we've seen this as a theme for a while now. But I feel like he's really making it happen. He's really putting the work in now because he feels like he has a reason to do it. Because before, he was just maybe doing it because he had to. I feel as though now he's doing it because he wants to. He's doing it because he wants to build up a solid foundation so that he has something to offer, rather than doing it out of obligation, which is what I feel like he was doing in the past, either for him, obligation for what he felt was right, or obligation for, like providing for the karmic. There's something to do with money and the karmic. I don't know what it is, but I've been picking up on this for a while, and not just in the readings, but also just intuitively. So I feel as though there was some kind of a financial tie there, some kind of investment, or maybe they lived together, or something like that. I know for me, just to get personal for a second, that was what happened with me. I was with I don't want to call him a karmic, because it was a really happy relationship. He was more of a soulmate for me. He was preparing me for this journey. I just didn't know it at the time. But we were together, and I realized that it was over. And after that, I kind of stayed in the relationship because, emotionally I realized it was over, but I stayed because we lived in an apartment, and that I couldn't afford to live in by myself, and it's a 1-bedroom, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I was thinking in my head a lot. I can't leave. What am I going to do? I can't afford to live on my own right now. I'm in school. I'm only working, a couple days a week. I can't, what am I going to do? And that's the kind of energy that I'm feeling from the masculine. There's some kind of like a fear or an obligation around money and the karmic, or whatever situation that he was in involving other people, that was keeping him in his mental space. That was like the reason why. And just the fact that it happened with me is proof enough for me, because we're mirrors, right? We're divine mirrors. So a lot of the things that happen in their life will happen in our life as well, and we'll be able to relate to. So if it's happening in my life, chances are pretty good it's happening in his as well. So anyway, long story short, just to end off that story on a happy note, it all worked out really well. The universe provided in a way that I never would have expected. My ex-partner was very amicable about everything, and it was a very happy and healthy separation, more so than any other breakup that I've ever been through. So very positive outcome for that. Lots of lessons were learned, and it ended very positively. So, that is possible. Not all breakups need to be doom and gloom and, screaming and crying. Yes, there's going to be pain and loss when it comes to any kind of a change, or any kind of a breakup, you're losing somebody that you invested a lot of time, energy, and love into. So it's difficult either way, but it doesn't have to be traumatic, It doesn't have to be like your world's crashing down. It doesn't have to be a tower moment, is what they're telling me. It doesn't have to be a tower moment. It can be the world instead. It's just an end of a cycle. And when you acknowledge that, it's not your world crashing down around you, it's the world spinning. It's natural. It's a cycle. You've just got to go with it. Just like nature, the trees don't abandon hope when their leaves start to fall. They just accept that this is the natural order of things and everything happens for a reason, and they have trust and faith that when the sun comes back and it gets warmer, they're going to bloom and they will start anew. So that just came through me from Spirit. Thank you. That was very eloquent. Wow, they're poets today. So a brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, a journey that is now complete. So he's come to the end of a journey. He's starting to realize that consciously. He's starting to realize that mentally and emotionally. So he's tying the two together, as well as the energy of making things manifest in the physical realm. So he's taking all of those elements and trying to put them together at this time to move forward on his journey, to move through this transition more easily than he has in the past, because he's had that tower moment. And the only thing that you can be sure of in life is change. It's the only consistent. And it's such a paradox because change is consistent. It's like an oxymoron. Consistent change. So let's get some clarifiers on this. Okay. So with the 5 of Summer, we got the 3 of Swords and the 9 of Swords in reverse. So the 9 of Swords is that 9 of Winter again. It's that same energy, but now it's reversed. So the 5 of Summer is that he's trusting that this heartbreak happened for a reason now. He's getting out of his head about it. He's no longer worrying about it at night. He's realized that it's actually helped him to grow and that it's guiding him to where he needs to be. So that's what I'm feeling from those cards, and that's very positive. So the clarifying the King of Autumn, we got the King of Swords and the 9 of Wands. So again, he's getting out of his head with the King of Swords, because that's the king of the mind. It's all about the intellect. It's all about thinking rather than feeling or knowing. With the 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior. He's been through a lot, but he's not been defeated by it. He's down on one knee. He is not out, though. He's going to stand back up. He's holding on to that wand, that passion that he has within himself, and he's starting to get out of his head about it. And he's getting ready to move forward. So we're seeing that here with the 3 of Wands and the Chariot. Now, they're both in reverse, and the 3 of Wands and the Chariot to me both signify travel. And especially together, this is travel over water. This is flying somewhere. This isn't just, going for a drive down the block. This is big travel. This is big movement and big change. So then the 3 of Wands is about making that decision, and the Chariot is about bringing everything together, reining everything in, and really moving forward quickly. And so what I'm seeing with the 3 of Autumn is that he's especially with these two being in reverse. Okay, so he's wanting this change, he's wanting this move, but he's not feeling ready yet because he's working on his finances. He doesn't feel like he can go somewhere because he needs to work on his finances, or he feels that he needs to work on his finances first. He does have travel plans, though, because they're both here. they're in reverse, but they're both here. He wants to go somewhere. Whether it's a vacation or whether it's to see his divine feminine, or in my case, and this may apply to others, and that's why I share it with you guys, is that the divine feminine may be traveling to him. And so he is waiting. He can't really do anything except for focus on his career and his finances while he waits. So either one of those, whichever ones resonates with you. Clarifying the world, we got the Four of Swords and the Nine of Cups. So he's resting right now from this big transition that's taken place with the world. He's resting at the moment, and he's resting his mind, because that was a lot to bear on his mind. And with the Nine of Cups, he is starting to think about abundance. He's starting to think about these full cups. He walked away because he only had 8. Now he's moving into 9. He wants to have 9. He wants to have 10. But he may only be thinking that he can have 9 right now. He's not thinking big enough. But the world is here to help him rest, recuperate, and then come back into this feeling of abundance, because the Nine of Cups is all about abundance and sharing that, and it's homey and comforting and full. So he's coming back into that feeling. He's learning to trust that everything happened for a reason. He is working on his finances, and he's getting out of his head. He's moving forward. Despite the fact that he's been through, hell and high water, and he's working and waiting, and there will be travel. Whether that's the divine feminine or him or both together, there will be travel. And this is divinely guided. The travel is divinely guided. All of this cycle, all of what has taken place has been for a reason. And now we've gotten through it. It's just time to rest, recuperate, and focus on what we're moving towards, which is abundance of love. So we are at 37 minutes. I'm going to close it out with that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate all of your likes, shares, subscribes, all of that kind of thing. I have 1 month left of school, and then I'm moving, and then I'm going to open up my shop for business. So I'll be taking readings, or I'll be taking orders for readings and Reiki treatments long distance as well, and it'll all be through Skype. I will keep you guys up to date on that. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Okay, bye.